Good day to all of you. I'm Dr. Ganesh. Welcome to another chapter of Eat for Health. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that is highly debated worldwide and often create lots of confusion among ourselves. And that is known as a food product that we are very familiar with. That is dairy. We have been consuming this since our childhood days, but we must understand what is actually the purpose of milk in our lives. When a child is born, a baby is born, its first instinct is to suckle the milk from the mother, so it can get its nutrition to its body. Such is Mother Nature. In fact, in the mammalian world, that is how its newborn is first to survive, to take its mother's milk. A kitten is born, it takes its mother's milk. A pup is born, it takes its mother's milk. A lion cub is born, it takes its mother's milk. So is an elephant, the same. But there's only one species that consume the milk of other animals, and that is the human species, which is actually rather odd. For the very fact Mother Nature has given us our mother's milk when we were born as babies, and during that period of time all the nutrition from the mother customized to feed the newborn child to grow is in the mother's milk itself. And yet the food industry has manipulated our minds to feed on cow's milk, processed powdered milk, infant formula milks, which is now causing a lot of detrimental effects in our body. We are lacking the antibodies that we need naturally from our bodies, which only mother's milk can give. No other milk can replace that. The thing is, as humans, we consume milk when we were babies, we were born. But as we grow older, there is no necessity for milk to be consumed. Why? I will explain to you later why. It is all been manipulated to confuse us. There is a famous slogan which was famous in the 50s and 60s after the agricultural revolution set in. They say milk does the body good. As you can see in these pictures here, celebrities around the world with their lips tainted with the milk, and they said milk does the body good, but actually milk does the body more harm than good. But there is a dark side of dairy which all of us must know, and that dark side is the dairy industry itself. As we know, when a child is born, when a baby is born, the baby cries for the mother's milk. And the same thing goes for all creatures, all mammalian creatures. When their child is born, they feed on the mother's milk. Imagine depriving the baby of the mother's milk. So when the baby is born, we take the baby away from the mother, deprive it of its milk. And do you think it's humane? Just think of it as a newborn child deprived from its mother's milk. That's exactly what we are doing to the calf when it's born. How can we get cow's milk? The only way we can get cow's milk is when the cow gives birth to the calf. The cow has to be pregnant to produce milk in the body, and when the calf is born, milk is produced. So like you see in this picture here, when the calf is born, immediately the calf is taken away from the mother, and the mother's the cow's udders are fitted with sucking pumps to suck out the milk for production to be processed for human consumption. This is how it has been going on in the milk industry. We deprive the growing calf from its mother's milk. So we look at it as animal lovers. You think it's humane? All this is going on. So the cow needs its mother's milk to grow. All the calcium, the hormones, the growth factors, everything in the milk is meant for the cow to grow, not for humans to consume. So when we consume milk from cows, what happens to our body? Our body recognizes it as foreign, and it brings forth a lot of disease. I'll explain more in detail again. So dairy is processed in various ways. From milk itself, they can ferment it into yogurt using yeast, and they produce butter, cheese. Now you must see, as the process goes from cheese to cream to butter to ghee, the hormones in the milk in these processes gets more and more concentrated. Fats get more and more saturated. Okay, which means its effects on the health is more and more detrimental. I'll explain even more later. Okay, so when a baby is born, it has a particular enzyme in the body, in a newborn, and that is known as the lactase enzyme. Okay, this enzyme breaks down the mother's milk in the baby so that it can be processed, can be digested by the gut of the baby. So inside the milk of the mother has a lot of antibodies, nutrition, vitamins, minerals, all necessary for the growth of the baby. But as we get older, from childhood to toddler to teenager to adulthood, this enzyme disappears. It disappears, and in fact 75% of the world population is lactase deficient. 75% of the population. So which means when we reach adulthood, we are not able to break down milk carbohydrates anymore. So we will get the effects of the milk in our body, which means it will give us a lot of other side effects, other diseases. So if 75% of the population does not have this enzyme, it clearly explains that when we reach adulthood, we should not be taking dairy or dairy products. We are meant to take more natural foods, natural products. Okay, dairy by itself does not provide optimal health for our body. In fact, we don't need dairy. Dairy is not at all essential for our body. Most of our calcium comes from the ground, comes from sunlight, from vegetables, from green leaf vegetables. That's our calcium source. In fact, there is a study even showed that consuming excessive amount of dairy leads to osteoporosis. Now, in other what are other causes of milk consumption? What are the effects of milk consumption in the body? We must understand milk has a carbohydrate known as lactose, and a simpler carbohydrate known as glucose and galactose. So these are the carbohydrates found in dairy products. when we don't have the enzyme lactase in, like I said, in adulthood to break down lactose, lactose gets accumulated in our body, and when lactose gets accumulated, it's a sugar. So it's a sugar means it will bring forth a lot of other conditions: weight gain, excessive weight gain, diabetes, arthritis, and other chronic diseases. So this is one thing we must know about milk. So as adults, 75% of us are lactose intolerant, which means our body actually does not accept milk. Now there is another, there are numerous studies linked from dairy consumption to cancer, numerous studies, and these studies are often shunned and manipulated by the dairy industry to just for profits. But the truth is real. The truth is what it is. Milk is linked to cancer. Now, why is that? There is a content in milk which most of us are not aware of, and that is known as casein. Okay, casein. Okay, so casein in milk has been linked to cancer production. There is a study done in the 80s by this Dr. Colin Campbell. He did the studies in the 80s. What he did is he took two mice. One mice is a control, another mice is injected with casein. And he observed after 2 weeks later, he took the blood sample of the mice and cultured it. And he saw there is an increase in cancer cell development growth in the mice with casein, whereas the mice with no casein remains the same. So he kept that mice with casein for another 2 weeks with no casein injected. So the casein level goes down after 2 weeks and the cancer cell goes down. And then again, he injected again the same mice with casein. Again, the cancer cell proliferation goes up again, whereas the mice, the controlled mice, has no cancer development there. So he has concluded that casein is linked to increased cancer cell growth in the body. So which means our natural killer cells, our immunity will fight hard to kill these cancer cells. So we are giving a lot of stress to our body to fight cancer cell. When we take milk, casein, increase cancer cells, increase body activity on cancer elimination. But what happens when our body gets fatigued, tired eventually? That's where you get increased cancer growth. But there are other things that are linked to milk consumption as well, and that is another element, another content in milk called casomorphin. Casomorphin in milk is also known to act like a morphine centers in our brain. What happens is it tends to alter, it can alter our mood, cause disturbance in our psychological balance. So this is all linked to that, you see, and there's even linked to depression, right? So casein, casomorphin, and what are the other contents of dairy milk from cows? We got estrogen, progesterone, yes, estrogen, progesterone is present in human bodies, but you must remember this is a pregnant cow, so it has very high content of estrogen and progesterone from the cow. Okay, so this is cow estrogen and progesterone. You are going to give this milk to your child, which is rich in estrogen and progesterone as well. So what you expect the effect in the body of the child? You see, there will be excessive fat growth, there'll be excessive weight gain for the child. That's why children who are fed with formula milks and also cow's milk gain weight very fast and have the risk of obesity more in future. So estrogen and progesterone in cow's milk, excessive dairy consumption is linked to breast cancer, endometrial cancer. All these cancers are hormonal linked. So when you take cow's milk very frequently, very often, you are at risk for these cancers. And of course, in men, there is prostate cancer. Okay, this is all proven studies in cow's milk consumption. So why is that? Is because the cow's milk itself increases cancer cell growth. It promotes cancer cell growth. You see, it stimulates a lot of growth factors in the body. You see, and reduces what is natural killer cell activity, and with excessive cancer growth, and which means it gives us a risk for cancer. So, and another false fact that most dairy industries say, that milk is high in calcium. Yes, it's correct, but remember, this is cow's milk. Calcium is meant for the calf to grow. So much, just as much as a baby needs the mother's milk to grow, it needs the calcium from the mother, not from the cow. So calcium is for the calf to grow. So there is excessive calcium in cow's milk. What happens to excessive calcium in our body? Excessive calciums get deposited in a lot of areas in our body, in our blood vessels, in our organs, tissues. So this will give side effects to the tissue, damage the tissues, damage organ function, and alters the health equilibrium in our body. So we have to be aware that the calcium from milk is not necessary at all. The calcium we take from vegetables and sunlight is sufficient enough for us. So get exposed to the sunlight more, take more green leaf vegetables, and also beans. Beans is very rich in calcium. Peas and seeds, they all are very rich in calcium. Okay, we don't need milk for calcium, right? So now I've already explained about the effects of casein in the body that's linked to cancer. Now it's also affects in hormonal balance in women, especially when they have menstrual disturbances, because estrogen, progesterone in milk, in dairy products, can affect the menstrual cycle in women as well, and causing menstrual cramps, causing pains, endometriosis, and a lot of diseases. In fact, milk consumption is also linked to development of arthritis, and of course increase in cholesterol levels. So there are a slew of diseases that come from just dairy consumption alone. So dairy consumption has to be kept in the most minimal as possible, if possible to be avoided as much as possible, because truly we don't need it. Okay, so but however, when it comes to milk, there is milk is linked to delicacies. That means of food that your pizzas, they have cheese. Yeah, fine, you can take them, but take them with very little amounts, not to be taken often. And also chocolate, that's also dairy products, your chocolate candies, Cadbury, Van Houten, all these are rich in dairy products, so they'll be taken as minimal as possible. teach your child not to consume too much of these products, especially powdered milk, which is highly processed and full of added preservative flavoring and a lot of chemicals added there. So we have a substitute for milk. We have soy milk, okay, soy milk. We have almond milk, and now there is a product known as also pea milk, made from peas, okay, perhaps green peas and many other peas. So these are all Mother Nature's milk. Now we can argue soy milk is high in estrogen. Estrogen is linked to soy. Yes, estrogen has what we know as phytoestrogens. Now phytoestrogens do not give the same effect as body estrogens in our human body, okay, but in fact there's a study that showed that those who take soy protein or soy milk, of course what I mean is natural soy milk, the estrogen from the soy protects the estrogen, excessive estrogen effect in your body, which means it protects from breast cancer, it protects from ovarian cancer or ovarian diseases, so it protects from endometrial cancer. So it's more protective. What happens is estrogen from the soy binds to receptors in the cell, estrogen receptors in the cell, preventing excessive estrogen action in our body. So, but in fact, the effect of estrogen in soy is very, very minimal. To get the estrogen effect from soy milk, you have to take 18 to 20 glasses per day. Who drinks 18 to 20 glasses of soy milk per day? No one. Okay, so it's not possible to get estrogen effect from soy milk. So you can take soy milk as one good substitute from taking dairy. So there is also almond milk, which is also high in fiber and nutrition. Now here I have some products to show that are very good substitutes for milk, and these products are very new. And to get more inquiries on this product, you can call us at this number at 0755888900, and we will be very happy to give you more information about these products. Now these are entirely zero dairy product. They are not made from milk at all. They are entirely made from 100% pea. Okay, they are made from green peas or some peas. So, and these products are entirely natural and organic. Okay, of course they are all considered processed products, but they have no effect of the estrogen effect from cow milk. They don't have the steroid effect from cow's milk. They don't have the casein, which causes cancer, from cow's milk. So they are very, very safe to drink, and this is a very good substitute for your dairy products. I'm going to show you a few uses of this dairy, these milk products here. Okay, these are pea milk. Okay, and here we have pea and oats. You can see pea and oats here. Okay, and here we have unsweetened pea milk. Okay, it's from plant protein, right? Okay, this is just unsweetened, and here we have the sprout. Okay, also made from pea, right? No dairy. Is also very good for those of you with milk protein allergy. You can take this as a substitute. Okay, this is another one. Okay, original flavor. Okay. Okay. And here we have the chocolate flavor, right? So entirely no dairy. So now I'm going to show you. Okay, see how, some recipes here. These are very simple household recipes which you can substitute. Okay, for example, you're getting up in the morning, you need to make your coffee. You're a coffee drinker. So I have some coffee here. Okay, I'm going to put some coffee inside here, right? Okay, and I'm going to just pour it here. Okay, so I'm going to make my coffee. I woke up in the morning. So I just put like half a cup of coffee here, right? Okay, this coffee is quite strong actually, right? Now just take a glass. Okay, so I get that coffee there, right? So now I just take some milk here, right? But make sure it's shaken first. I just pour coffee here, right? Okay, perhaps you need a bigger cup, okay? Right? Perhaps we just pour it back here, right? Okay. Okay, so we can pour a bit more. Okay. So yeah. So you get more or less. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So there's some coffee beans here that is not dissolved, right? Right. Okay. So okay. Anyway, you just need a strainer, and you get your coffee here. So this is the coffee there. So now let's try a. Say you want to have tea, right? So we take a tea bag here. Okay, we got a tea bag. Okay, so you can use the same spoon, right? Okay, so we got some tea here, right? Okay. So now I'm just going to put it the cup there. Okay, I'm just going to put it here. Okay, so I got my tea here. And I'm going to take this pea milk here. I'm just going to pour it on. Okay. So there you go. So it's just like tea. You see. So I can use it for as a substitute for my milk. So now I'm going to share some recipes for milk. Can do some milk smoothie here. So here I got some frozen banana, right? Frozen banana here. So I'm going to make a smoothie, right? So I need some water. Say about 250 ml. Okay. So I'm going to take a frozen banana here and just put it inside. So I'm going to take, now I'm going to try some Mighty Pea Barista here, okay. So it contains a blend of pea and oats. So I'm going to shake it. Okay. Right. Just going to add some here. Okay. And I'm going to just put a bit of sugar. Okay. So 1 teaspoon of raw cane sugar, which is about it's about 15 calories. So I just put about 2 teaspoons there. Huh? So, but you can put sugar to your taste, right? So now I'm going to just blend this. So you get your milk shake here, right? If you don't want to add water also, you can just add it pure, can also, yeah. So that's one. And then I'm going to make a flaxseed with the chocolate milk. So I'm going to put some flaxseed here, 2 spoons of flaxseed. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of sugar. Okay, put half a tablespoon of sugar, right? And I'm going to put a bit of oats. Some oatmeal, right? And I'm going to put some Sprout chocolate drink here. Okay, roughly about 250 ml. Okay, so now I'm just going to blend it again. Okay, so I get my flaxseed blended here. There you get your flaxseed drink. So, and if you want your cereals, okay, so I got some organic, very similar to your Cocoa Crunch, but this is entirely whole grain and organic, right? They are unsweetened. Okay. So we have the Cocoa Crunch here. You can take, say, you can take this, original from Sprout. You can just pour it. Just like your regular milk. So you can see these are all good substitutes for milk products. No dairy, entirely no dairy. So they are very safe and very healthy. So I hope up to now we understand the effects of dairy in our lives, and it's best to avoid it as much as possible. So I wish you all good health and long life. Take care.